What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Hope Shot. Hope you guys had a great weekend. I know I did, like usual. Caesar,
Yes,
you want to
Justin.
read the clarity statement?
Oh, sure.
I know you're not gonna disappoint me now. You know what I mean?
Never. The Hope Shot Clarity Statement. We here at the Hope Shot are a group of people in recovery spreading inspiration. We come from all different walks of life and pathways of recovery. Our verbiage may be different at times, but we all have one thing in common. Recovery is a lifestyle. We support all pathways of recovery. It doesn't matter how you get from A to Z, just get there. And thank you for being a part of our Hope Shot family.
Thank you, Caesar. If you guys just jumping on, say what's up. Let us know you're here. If you guys could share this out, we really appreciate it. So tonight's topic, we're going. Oh, wait, let me say we got Melissa on tonight from Sober Now. What's up, Melissa?
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Glad to be here.
So tonight's topic, we're going to be talking about overcoming challenges with a growth mindset. I think it's something that should be talked about. Mindset's a big thing in this whole, recovery field, in life in general, man. Mindset's everything, man. It's trying to keep a positive mindset with everything going on. Life, it's just the hustle and bustle, the daily struggles, kids, just you name it, man. It's definitely a challenge, and I think that's the biggest obstacles to overcome is going through this life as life comes at you, and be able to get through it and get to the other side in a positive way. Not letting all the negative influences take us out of character, take us out of our serenity, that peace. So we're going to talk about that tonight. So Nate. Nate, you want to go first, man?
I was waiting for Caesar to read the clarity statement in Spanish.
Bro.
Coming soon.
We can make this happen.
We actually have me reading the clarity statement in Spanish already.
I can't unhear it. I just can't. I can't.
It's pretty awesome.
Justin, you
listen,
want to give him a little snippet?
I'll give you. Yeah, my speaker's a little messed up, but so man, our world's crazy. I just wanted to let y'all know that it's fascinating, crazy, and cool. But we're transcribing the Hope Shot into Spanish so we can hit different avenues, and we have made Spanish speaking. Let me go to the one that I have. Where's that? This is great. I did a little preview earlier.
Yeah, we sound like we're announcing one of the best football games ever.
Here we go.
Lo hago. El Hope Shot. Declaración de claridad. Nosotros aquí en el Hope Shot somos un grupo de personas en recuperación que transmitimos inspiración. Venimos de todos los rincones de la vida y de diferentes caminos de recuperación. Nuestro lenguaje puede ser diferente en ocasiones, pero todos tenemos una cosa en común: la recuperación. Como estilo de vida, apoyamos todos los caminos de recuperación. No importa cómo llegues de la A a la Z, solo llega allí. Y gracias por ser parte de nuestra familia Hope Shot.
And that was the clarity statement.
I got
Spanish.
Familia Hope Shot out of that whole thing.
Yeah.
Yep. I doing big things over here. Thanks, Caesar, for reading that clarity.
No problem. Look at that. We got Marcia.
That's our interpreter to make sure we're not screwing this thing up.
Right.
Yes. Thank you so much, Marcia. She went through the whole thing to make sure that it was actually transcribed properly, and what we were saying was was correct.
Yeah.
What a world.
Yeah. So
What
yeah,
a world.
what a
live in.
world. We live in a pretty fascinating world. Yeah. Anyways, Nate.
And that's actually a good segue, because technology, right? Technology to me is so overwhelming and daunting. When everybody was getting their cell phones and their Blackberries and their uh, iPods, when the cell phone craze took off, I was in prison. I missed that bus. So I just got introduced to like social media, cell phones, emails, like 5.5 years ago for the first time. So talk about a growth mindset and overcoming challenges. That stuff, isn't it wild how the mind works? I can, be cured from a hopeless state of mind and body, have an obsession lifted from me that ruled and dictated my every choice and action for over 20 years. But I get in front of a computer or, with a cell phone, and I can be paralyzed with fear and just shut down. How do I change that? Like that old pattern? Because that's my old that's my old way of reacting to things that I'm not comfortable with, or that I don't know, I'm not familiar with. I've never done it. And sorry. And that's the same about recovery, right? Because I come into this deal defeated, right? I come into this like I have the worst self-esteem, the worst self-worth issues. I feel less than, I feel apart from, and I have no idea what it means, to, function normally in society, have normal adult conversations, pay bills, go to work every day, get a paycheck, have a bank account. These things are completely foreign to me. And, and that's just the external stuff, but like the internal stuff, right? My mind, when I come in here, is so warped, and my perspective is so skewed. The lens that I'm seeing through are cracked, right? They're broken. What I see is distorted. All my reality is seen through insecurity, fear, mistrust, lack of self-esteem, lack of self-worth, lack of belonging. Like, I think that everybody's out to get me. I take everything personally. Everything external controls who I am and what I do. It isolates me, because that's what addiction and alcoholism does, right? It isolates us. It wants us alone in our own thoughts. And for me, that was the greatest challenge coming into here, is that shift, right? So I always talk about this in here, that shift, just the slightest shift towards something different. I don't know what it takes for you guys. What it took for me was 20 plus years of, horrible pain and darkness and sheer desperation, this pathetic state of mind like that I got into, where I just felt worthless, right? That darkness, and in that space, I was able to finally surrender. And I just shifted. I didn't even know what I was shifting towards. I was just shifting towards something other than what I've been feeling, who I was, what I've been, what I've done. And I just made that slight shift. And in that space, everything became possible, right? My whole entire life transformed, because for once, I believed that I was worthy of something different. And I put some action. I not only shifted a little bit, but I started doing things differently. And for me, recovery isn't this like, complete 180 or through however you want to look at it. I just didn't magically transformed. It's a series of small shifts in a different direction, right? And it progresses. It's evolved to where, my first year, I just didn't want to feel this pain anymore. I was so tired of being broken and hurting and sad and lonely, right? I just wanted that to stop. In order for that to stop, I had to put the drugs and the alcohol down in order for anything to change, right? So I put that down. I surrender. I get busy. I get with a sponsor. I get introduced to a fellowship. I connect. I get introduced to God. I start forming a relationship. I go through the steps and I learn how to translate them, transmit them to another. And then here comes my second year. Now the next shift is figuring out, where do I belong as a sober man, as a sober human being? Where do I fit in this world, right? And I start to discover myself all over again. I don't like discover, I uncover myself, right? I start uncovering, who I am underneath, the mask, the facade, the bravado, I have to be cool, I have to fit in. I start finding my own individuality and my tribe, right? And that was like my second year. I'm like, getting closer to God. I still feel like a little weird saying I believe in God. I think I still kind of have those prejudices where I don't believe that it's cool to be spiritual, or, say that shit out loud. What's this dude going to think of me if I start talking about God? Because I know what I think about others when they start talking about Jesus or being saved. I immediately judge them, right? Because I have no idea what spirituality or a relationship with a higher power means at that time. So that's like the next shift. And then the next shift is like me finding out, like getting down to the nuts and bolts, right? These ingrained behavioral patterns that are just embedded in my psyche that served a great purpose and kept me alive when I probably shouldn't have been alive. And those behaviors, those patterns, those traits that I've become so accustomed to don't serve a purpose in this new life, right? And that's like one of the greatest mindsets that I feel like I've started to delve into, is understanding that just because I am sober from drugs and alcohol does not mean that I'm emotionally sober. That doesn't mean that I'm not still a mess. That doesn't mean that I still behave in ways that are indignant of somebody that used to be like how I was for 20 plus years. I am, accustomed to some dark and disturbing thoughts and actions. And how do I unwire that? How do I get to the root of it? And for me, it's been like I said, an uncovering, and in that uncovering, what I come to realize is that the closer I get to my God, who I believe in, the more I start to understand my truth and my purpose. The more I understand that it's not so much about what's going on. Anything that is going on externally, I am manifesting from how I am inside, right? My daily life is a direct reflection of not only my connection with my higher power, but how I feel about who I am inside. If I feel like I am worthless, I'm going to attract unworthy shit. If I feel like I am not enough, I am going to be in situations that make me feel uncomfortable. If I feel like I'm an imposter, I'm going to keep being put in situations where I'm not thriving, or I'm not, meeting my full potential. So it's like, I have to start believing what my higher power wants from me. And my higher power wants me to be free. He wants me to know unconditional love. He wants me to convey compassion and forgiveness, not only for others, but for myself. I have to learn how to let go of the very things that perpetuated my addiction to begin with. I have to forgive what I did, who I was, where I've been, in order to even start practicing it with others in my daily life. And in that space, in that awareness, for me, that's where it gets really deep and really tricky. And, but it's not as complicated as I think it is. It really comes down to consistency and discipline. You know, what I do on a daily basis is who I am. Like, you know, we are our thoughts. I am what I think, and that is, 5.5 years later, that's probably what I still struggle with the most is, the stuff that goes on in my head still, because, despite I have a strong spiritual connection. I have a great relationship with God that I nurture every day through gratitude, through meditation, through reading, through studying, through inventory, through helping others. My entire life revolves around service and being available to whoever might need help. But I can still convince myself I am that person I used to be, like when it's quiet and when there's nobody around, I can start telling myself these lies again. And for me, my biggest growth mindset today, the thing that I'm truly focusing on is giving myself some grace to be human, right? I need to forgive myself, and not beat myself up for not getting it right. And how I overcome challenges is by walking towards challenges. It was in my gratitude the other day. I'm so grateful to run towards life and not away from it. And that for me is the biggest change in my life. I was so afraid of being uncomfortable that I would run quickly in the other direction anytime that feeling arose, or I put something in my body to not feel it at all. So today, when I know that I'm growing is when I feel uncomfortable. It's been a huge transition for me in the last few months. There's been a big change. I came off the road. We started this Hope Shot thing. I got back into this relationship, and it's been one of the most transformative, evolving phases of my life. And I'm still learning. I'm still growing from it. And for me, I don't ever want to feel like I'm settled in. Like if all is well and I don't feel like pulls and a little bit of uncomfortable feelings, then I don't think I'm challenging myself. I pray that I continue to surround myself with people who challenge me, and that I have an open mind, and I have an open heart and an open spirit to see the lessons that are being shown to me. And and to keep shifting, to keep seeking and to keep being curious about, who I truly am and what makes Nathan, operate that deep soul level inner working that it's so foreign to me, man, that space where, that I still have nightmares. I still get scared. I still feel insecure. Why? Because there's pieces of me that I haven't forgiven yet, and there's more work to be done. And I pray that work is, constant and never stops, because I just want to keep getting closer to this thing. I could go on about this subject. It's a great subject, but let me stop.
Yeah, mindset's everything. I really like the uncovery. That is probably one of my favorite words in this whole process, is the uncovery, because we are uncovering, all the shit that we piled up on us to try to mask whatever the shit that we don't like to see. And I really like that. That's probably one of my favorite words in this whole process. All right, let me read some comments. I'm gonna pass over to Melissa. Let's hear from Melissa. Let's see. I'm gonna go back up and say what's up to people. We got Paula. Good to see you, Paula. We got Shannon. Hey, Shannon. We got Amber. Good to see you. Great to be here. It says hi, Melissa. Let's see. We have Rachel. Happy Sunday to you as well. Autumn, you guys are awesome. Thank you for being you. And I think it's awesome to add in the Spanish translation. Yes. You know what, man? We're trying to reach the unreachable, whatever that looks like. Hopefully, if we can do that, man, that's what I said, man. Technology is beautiful. having that growth mindset in order to be able to get that done is where it's at, you know? We got Rudolph. What's up, Rudolph? Listen to Hope Shot on my Shuffle Nano. Wait, is that an iPod? Or yeah, is that an iPod, a Nano? I think it is. I don't know. We got Greg. What's up, Greg? We got Jerry. Good to see you, Jerry. Ellen even likes to uncover. I like that, Nate. You got sober. Now what? We attract based on how we feel. We are all giant magnets. Yeah. What do we magnetize to? What are we letting come to our space? And we got Michael. What's up, Michael? Proud of you, brother. Thank you for being so open and vulnerable. Thank you. And we got JJ says it's a good thing that we recognize the patterns. That means it was a structured process, deliberate. Now it's time to utilize the proverbial wrecking ball to demolish such structures and rebuild. Right. Break it down to rebuild. We got Aaron. Good to see Aaron. It's not that those feelings ever go away. It's just we develop better ways to cope with them without using. Exactly. Healthy coping mechanisms. I got Justin Rose. What's up, man? You guys are just so awesome. It's good seeing comments, man. It's been a minute. And then we got Greg. Good to see you, Greg. I love this. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being here. We got Stan. Just found this. It's so awesome. Thank you, guys. Thanks for being here, guys. We do this every Sunday, 8 p.m. live here on the Hope Shop. All right, Melissa, how you feeling? How you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm on the up. I am. It's been a long 2 weeks, and it was definitely more challenging than I had anticipated, but I'm making it through. And it's a great topic because I'm right in the middle of, working on my growth mindset. I mean, we always are, aren't we, in recovery? Nate touched on it. By the way, that was beautiful, Nate. You had so many strong points in your share, but I'm like you, I could go on and on about it. Like, in my writing and on my page, I'm constantly talking about growth, keep growing, growth mindset, but it can shift, right? It's not always, your mindset isn't always the same. The growth isn't always the same. Our recovery isn't. And that's because life isn't. Life is ever evolving. And, we talk about the ebb and flow. And so our growth mindset is going to shift too. And I think that right now where I'm at with growth mindset, just because of what I'm walking through, almost out of, there's light at the end of the tunnel, but you guys, I'm still healing. I'm grateful to be here tonight, but I have some stuff ahead, challenges ahead of me. That growth mindset looks like to me, which Nate touched on, grace for myself, because I don't offer myself a lot of grace, and it's necessary for me and where I'm at in my recovery. And I don't do a good job at self-care, and I don't do a good job at slowing down and always looking kind of inward and being introspective about what it is that I'm walking through. I'm good at recognizing what I'm walking through and why is this challenge in front of me and what does it mean and what can it be used for, or why did that person say that? I'm getting good. My brain, my cognitive thinking, my brain is getting in a better place. That's a part of my recovery. Before I was like an amoeba, like you forget about it. You're not going to get any depth out of me. But as my recovery goes, I'm able to go, but to go down and down and down deep, dig deep and uncover some stuff takes taking a step back, calming it down, and pushing some things to the side, which are all healthy things I surround myself with, but there's still distractions when it comes to my own personal self-care, right? And balancing that stuff is always a challenge for me. It may always be, I don't know, but right now I know that I needed to give myself some grace. And I believe that my higher powers offered me that opportunity through the surgery that I went through. And I know for what had happened was there was a setback, and I'm not where I should be in my recovery in my mind. The thing is that where I'm at today with acceptance with that and the healing process is not where I was at maybe 2 or 3 days ago. There's a vast difference. And what happened in that shift of being negative and why is this happening? What does this mean? And I have to cancel this and that. And what a nuisance. And oh my God, another surgery is possible. Like all this stuff. I was able to stop it. I think I posted a video while I was right in the middle of the light bulb going off that I need to give myself grace and allow myself to heal. And I'm in the position that I'm in now because I didn't care for myself prior to that. You know, I am, this recovery is harder because I pushed it off for so long when I didn't take care of what I should have. Like I kind of had to go through that process. And as soon as I started doing that, in combination with gratitude for what it is that had been accomplished, it was a long gratitude list. There was a lot to be grateful for. The support through it, the grace from my job to take the time off and have what I need, a loving husband to care for me. And he's doing a great job. And this is not anything that any husband wants to do, to see their wife in the position that I was in. It was really, really gross stuff, you guys. Like I didn't even want to look at it, but he was there and he helped me and nursed me through it. And I had, we had a roof over our head and a nice recovery room for me to be in my home. And, I could go on and on. So I had all that stuff. So the gratitude was in combination with that for my mindset shift. And where I'm at with it today is that I understand that it's a blessing from my higher power. I really believe that I was able to take some downtime, take care of what I needed for me physically, but also use the 2 weeks to draw closer to him because I like to take that will over. You know what I mean? I like to start becoming in charge when we know that I'm not. We know that I know that my higher power is. And I have to be honest with you guys, the mindset going into it, there was a lot of fear. Somebody had posted a comment earlier about fear. It's because I don't want to have to sit with myself for that long. I don't want to sit by myself and with myself for 2 weeks of recovery. And Nathan touched on this too. It's because then I knew that I would be challenged and I'd have to do some emotional work. I knew what was coming. I knew why it was happening the way it was. And, but today I have some acceptance with that and I'm grateful. And people say, how are you doing? And I say, I'm on the up, one day at a time. I know that an appointment on Tuesday could go either way, but I'm walking into it with a positive mindset that whatever happens is what's going to happen, and that I can stay in gratitude through it, and that I have more opportunities to just shift my way of thinking. I know for growth mindset, Justin, for me, the way there's two differences of thinking. Okay. So you either have a growth mindset or you're complacent. I don't know what you want to call that other mindset that we don't want to be in. But growth mindset to me is like when setbacks are opportunities to grow. Really, it's that simple. We don't have to get fancy with the words or anything, but if you're facing a setback, it's an opportunity to grow. And then a stagnant mindset would be that my efforts and attitude doesn't determine my abilities. So essentially, whatever you're thinking and whatever action you're taking is what's going to be your outcome. And so if you are in a mindset that you can find gratitude through that and you can stay connected to your higher power, you can use the resources that you have around you or build around you in recovery. Really, it applies to anything in life. Like this can just take you to the next phase that you need to be in, and you won't have any missed opportunities for growth through it. So that's all I got. That's where I'm at. I'm grateful to be here. I'm always grateful to share. If I'm not here on the Hope Shot, I'm always in the comments, connecting and listening and watching you guys. everybody in the comments brings me inspiration. If we get to a place where we're stuck, I'm always shouting out to the world, stay connected. Justin and I have a friend that's going through a real hard time, emotional time right now. And it was amazing in this group setting that, what do you call it, chat that we're in. Everybody was going through and they were saying the same thing, essentially, like, this is what I try, this is what I do, but all of it was leading to a positive mindset, things and tools that can get that person out of that rut that they're in, right? And that's all we're really talking about tonight, is how do you take a leap from living life on life's terms, facing life on life's terms, and going rather than in a negative direction, going in the positive direction. And what are the tools that you can get to that level and learn some stuff along the way. So I'm grateful to be here, and I love you guys. I really do.
Thanks, Melissa. Hey, and thank you for coming on tonight. I know it's you've been going through your own struggles, and I think it's awesome to show up, suit up and show up.
That's right. We do. That's what we do, Justin. We show up.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, we do have a mutual friend that's going through something right now, and man, it's in your darkest times, man, it feels like it's like the end of the world, and in that moment, it does feel like it, and there's no way out. I think the best thing to do is exactly what she did, is reach out to anybody or anyone that you feel, well, people you trust, to pull you out of that and just get some insight of, like, how do I get past this when it feels so dark and dingy, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get out of this. And like I said, the best thing you do is just reach outside to yourself, man, and grasp and ask for help, because that's humility in its purest form, and that's showing growth mindset right there. Is like, I don't want to stay here. This is just a situation. It's just a blip in time, I guess you could say. That I know this is not forever, and so I'm proud that she did that. I'm gonna read a couple comments and I'm gonna share. I'm gonna say the best for last with Cesar, because he's gonna drop it like it's hot. I know he is. We got Roxanne. Doing the work is the hardest thing to do, but it has to be done, or the lesson will keep repeating itself. Growth is not easy. It's a journey. I pray for all of you to give yourselves grace as you tackle this journey. I really like that repeating itself, that cycle. And that's what we got to do. We got to break that cycle. And that's where the work comes in. The hardest thing to do. Great comment. Let's see, we got Amber says, I feel this, Melissa. Self-care is so foreign and hard to get things to stick. And we got Mary in the comments. What's up, Mary? Great job. We got Robin says, life on life's terms. Yes, keeping up on self-care is something I struggle with. I think we all, in certain settings, certain times of the week, certain times of the months, years, whatever, we all struggle with the self-care, keeping up with the Joneses, or keeping up with life, or keeping up with kids, or feeling like we're not doing our job properly as parents, or whatever it looks like, financial struggles, all of it. I think that's where self-care gets on the back burner of all of it, depleting ourselves. We got Greg. Greg says, I struggle so much with feeling underqualified and unworthy. I needed this tonight. Thank you all so much. My sponsor tells me I have to give myself more credit instead of minimizing my progress. I'm almost a year clean and my life is amazing. I've gained so much the past year. I got my kids back, my wife back. I have 2 jobs, one in recovery. Like, I have a place in my name. I have an amazing support system, yet I still feel so out of place still, and just not worthy of things, which is in turn, I'm sure. Man, we all get that imposter syndrome. We feel like we should be farther along. We don't give ourselves enough credit. We are our worst enemy. Enemy number one is us, and the person we're looking at in the mirror. And that's that mindset. Maybe I should stop there and just start sharing on this, because that's exactly what I felt like too, is exactly how you feel. I felt that same way. Like, anything I do never amounts to nothing. It's never good enough. I'm not like this, or I'm not like that, when I couldn't give myself any credit or any grace. I was beating myself to the bone, and I I guess I was growthing backwards. I was literally just tearing myself down and depleting myself. And everybody tells me it's my mindset. And everybody always used to tell me it's my mindset. And I was like, well, I don't know how to fix it. You know what I mean? I always just like, I don't know how to fix it. I don't know how to change it. Well, I figured out how to change it. It's just I got to do more work and I got to start healing my mind. See, my problem was when I got in recovery, I wanted to look good. You know, like Caesar always says, came out on the inside and Gucci on the outside. Well, that's exactly what I was trying to do. I was trying to look good on the outside because I was really good at that. Like I got some clarity. I got some, you know, I started getting a little healthy, feeling good. I wasn't like some scraggly, freaking broken down person. So broken down Honda. So like I wanted to go to the gym. That's the first thing I did when I got in recovery. I went to the gym. I started eating healthy. Felt good. Like, and no matter how hard I worked, I still didn't feel good. Like physically, like I look good looking back on pictures now. Like I was like, damn, I really did look good. But in my mind, I didn't. I was still that same, got inner tubed, like fat. Like I still had that. It's because my mind wasn't right. No matter how much I did on the outside, no matter how much I worked, no matter how much my bank account looked, no matter how much anything, my mind would tell me that it was never good enough and I had to go harder. And that's why my addiction was so hard on me. And I was 130 pounds soaking wet because I went hard. It was never good enough. But like I said, I talk about all the time is that this year is when I really started working on my mind and started to get a grip on being content with my life because it's beautiful and I could never see it. All my friends tell me, like you have a great life and like I just have to believe it. Like I have to believe that I'm doing good. I have to believe that that I can get recovery. I have to believe that my like I'm doing well in life. Like I have to believe all these things in order for it to actually be true. Because perspective is reality. If I can't see it, I don't believe it. And then it's never going to be good enough. So training my mind to be okay with whatever happens, no matter what, that's where the recovery really kicked in for me. And that's where I started to grow as a person is seeing the positive in things, man, no matter what, life comes at you. Now I'm not perfect. Like, today I've lost my shit because of something overfilled and there's water all over the place, like I lost my shit and like it's going to happen, but I don't have to sit in my shit for that long. I don't have to sit there mad in that negative mindset for that long. I can pull myself out that much faster now that I've been training this thing instead of training this thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, because my mind was trashed, man. It was no matter what I did. And and it's funny because I will learn tons of things. Like I have a learning mind. Like I want to learn. If I don't understand it, I want to learn it, right? I'm really good at that. But once I learn it, I still don't think it's good enough or what I do is good enough. Like I'll make an awesome video, but unless somebody tells me that it's good enough, then I'll believe it's good. I have to have other people's opinions about what my good is and what my worth is. And that's another thing I've been working on this year is that right there, not getting other people's opinions in order to validate my worth. Yeah, to validate my worth. And to know that it's good enough no matter what, and like everything I do is good enough. And I'm just content, man. Like I finally found out what contentment feels like because I'm not chasing this fantasy of this person that I'm supposed to be for. I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm chasing. Yeah, and it's helped me tremendously, man. I'll tell you right now, it's helped me tremendously. And you know what? It's because I surround myself with these people right here. I surround myself with these people. and they let me freaking run shit by them. They tell me when I'm a retard. They help me, they guide me. I can call Melissa anytime. Like, we talk so much about like just the things that like the things when we're in our dark places, right? And we just feel like nothing's going to work out and we're never going to get anywhere. And like all this work we're doing is for nothing. And then we have our friends tell us, shut the hell up. It's only for this moment. You're doing exactly what you need to do. And then they'll help us get to a place where we feel like we are, with whatever it looks like helping us with little projects or going in these ideas when we have them on the internet and just running with it. I call Melissa, hey, let's jump on the Hope Shot with us tonight. Ain't even like just straight up. Yep, let's go run it. You know, and that's people you surround yourself with. Those people, because those are the ones you need to surround yourself with, because that's what's going to help you get that growth mindset and overcome those obstacles, because they're going to help you get to those places you need to be. And that's what a good support system looks like, and that's what you need to surround yourself with. So, and that's all I got. I'm gonna read a couple comments, Caesar. And let's see, we got Helen says, praying for you, Melissa. Needed the reminder of self-care. It's so important, yet I failed to find the time. I think we all fail to find the time all the time, especially going to the doctor. Like, I've been talking about going to chiropractor for like 3 weeks now, and I still ain't made an appointment. Kind of dumb, right? Because my neck's messed up. It reminds me in the morning when I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, I go to the chiropractor, and I'll forget by the afternoon. Shannon's ascending you so many healing prayers, Melissa, for a positive healing and for your appointment on Tuesday. Thank you for sharing. Aaron says, I personally am dealing with breast cancer. I found the best thing to help me was accepting this happened, but there is a lesson for me in it. I literally had to tell myself my lesson is to help others tackle this and remaining sober. I'll be praying for you, Aaron. My wife went through cancer in recovery, just like you. And I think that's having a good mindset is the best thing to equip yourself with. Yeah. And a good positive outlook. We have Melissa. Never allow your life circumstances to define you. Instead, let them refine you. Hard things are like heavenly sandpaper on your life. God uses to shape and mold you into a work of art. When you feel the pressure of trials, remember that God won't allow them to crush you. He intends for them to make you beautiful. Accept the growth. Amber says you need to print this statement, put it on in my mirror. That was a good one. Exactly. And we got Phil Tyler. What's up, Phil? Against the odds. Rudolph, thank you, my friend. Your videos are wonderful, Justin. I like your videos just fine. I appreciate you, buddy. And we got JJ says, believe me, I can talk till the cow come home, but by then everybody done left. Phil, we need each other. Iron sharpens iron. That's right. Edward, man, I got 3 years on the 18th. Just buried my best friend since the 7th grade. First time seeing you guys. Thanks for being a part of my recovery. So sorry about your friend, man, and glad you are here in 3 years. Congratulations. Yeah, we can do this every night, every Sunday at 8 p.m. live here on the Hope Shot. All right, Cesar. When we get the Spanish version.
That was interesting. So the kitten just got loose and the dogs just saw her for the first time while I was on with you guys. So she's hiding underneath the couch and the dogs just got thrown outside. So I'm like, what just happened? She's okay.
Are you in a growth?
Just that was interesting. So let me get my thoughts together. So yeah, growth mindset. When I came into this thing, there was no growth mindset because growth and change are scary, number one. And I was so deep in my BS that I really couldn't imagine a life that would look any different than the one that I was sitting in right at that moment. I felt like I deserved where I was. I felt like I was never going to have any better. And I was scared of any type of change. So like if I'm sitting in misery in the darkness of addiction, but it's familiar, it's like that familiarity is more comfortable than this recovery thing that I don't know what it looks like. I don't know how I'm going to attain it. Not sure if I deserve it. So I just sit in the same spot and do nothing until I'm finally miserable enough to ask somebody for help, you know. And once I finally do ask for help, I don't get to dictate what that help's going to look like. And fortunately, I'm beat down enough that I just don't even have it in me to try to tell anybody any more BS. I just listen to the instructions and do them to the best of my ability. But this miraculous change happens, and it's my first experience with faith. It's my first experience with, okay, if I try to do something and it works and I get this different result and things got better, maybe I'll try the next thing. Maybe I'll try to go get a job. Maybe I'll go try to do this. And, you know, like I dip my toe in the water a little bit and I try it out, and you keep getting results from it. And it spurs this hunger, especially in early recovery, because it's all brand new, you know, like these esteemable acts. And like somebody tells you you're a good guy for the first time, and you're like, who, me? Like, I'm a good guy? Like, yeah, dude, you're a really good guy. You helped that person move, and you did this and you did that. And you're like, wow, somebody called me a good guy. And then you want to do more. But what happens is it's no less scary to try something new and to continue going in that direction. But I have faith and I have evidence that I can do it, and there are results for doing it. So I build up this bank account of memories that I can go, okay, well, I tried this really hard thing and I was able to do it, and I got through the other side of it, and I'm better for it. So the next scary thing, even though it's scary, I do it anyway, because I know that that's where the results lie. So I remember every little bit of it was scary, this whole new life thing. But I had never worked like a regular job. Like since I was a teenager, I hadn't worked a regular job. And I got hired at this place, and I had to do like the interview and all that stuff. And I get hired as a laborer, basically sucking insulation out of like rat infested insulation out of attics. And I started in July in Florida, and I was so grateful. Like I was like, yes, I got this job. And I worked for a couple of weeks, and I'm telling my sponsor like all the things that I'm doing. And he's like, bro, I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited. And like 3 weeks later, I'm still so excited. And he's like, hey man, I know you're excited, but are you still looking for jobs? And I'm like, what do you mean? I got a job. He's like, yeah, but you're 37 years old. You can't suck insulation out of attics for the rest of your life. Never crossed my mind that there was no other plan. And I was like, what do you mean I can't? Sure I can. Like they're paying me $500 a week. I'm killing it. And, you know, I get to work with these other misfits, like, you know, the other people that are willing to crawl in attics in summer in Florida. You know, I was with my people, but it felt good. And I get injured. I shatter my hand, literally at work. It was a work accident. And then I'm right back in the same place again, where I'm like, oh my God, they're going to fire me. Because if I can't use my hand, I can't be a laborer anymore. And this guy that I worked for goes, you want to try sales? And I was like, sales? Like, no, not really. Like, I like a guaranteed paycheck, not one that's contingent on whether I sell something or don't sell something. And I don't really have any other options. I have a shattered hand. I can't do what I was doing. So I had to try something new. And that was like my first experience with that growth mindset, because once I succeeded with that, I fell in love with sales. I thought it was the best thing in the world. I was like, man, I can make as much money as matched by my effort. The more sales I close, the more money I make. Well, that's the same thing with my relationship with God. The more time I spend with God, the better my relationship is. And it's unlimited. The more time I'm willing to make space for God, the better my life gets and the better that relationship gets, because I'm walking around the world all day long. And if I don't have some kind of protection with me, if I don't have my higher power with me, then I'm left to my own devices, and the fears will all come back into my mind. All the stuff and I want to fall right back into that comfort zone. And I tried to spin that around to where you understand, like, the same reassurance that I get from a job well done and trying something like that, I have the same reassurance with my higher power, because I have this 9.5-year track record now that shows when I rely on him, everything works out. And then I have 30 something years before that shows that when I rely on me, it doesn't really work out. It's pretty ugly. So the job thing, I started doing so well at that place, and I got comfortable, and I got good at what I did. But I had to move on to another place, and I left claw marks in that job. I got to the point to where that place was so toxic, and I knew I was supposed to leave, but I held on and held on and held on, and finally I took a leap of faith, and I said, I'm going to go try a totally new career. Now, mind you, at this point, I'm like 40 something years old, and I'm going to go start a whole new career. And by this point in my recovery and in my life, I've got a mortgage and a lot of people that depend on me. But I knew, because of my faith, because of putting my recovery basically at risk at this place that was just, it was not a good place to be anymore. It was, I mean, I can be blatant on here. I won't say the company name. I mean, there's people doing drugs, and they were allowed to do drugs. The place was mismanaged, and I didn't have enough power in that place to make any changes. So I just had to deal with it. And I would come in and be miserable just being around all of that on a daily basis. And it got to the point where I didn't want to get out of bed in the morning. Like, where I was like, literally, I don't want to go to this place. I don't want to be there. I hate it, but I have to pay my bills. And I pick my ass up and I'd go. It was in my face all along that I have the choice to not work there. But I was so fearful of financial insecurity. You know, it's horrible. It's horrible here. It's a total shit show, but at least they pay me. You know, that's not a growth mindset. That's a fear-based mindset. So I got to have a new lesson in following God's will and not Caesar's will, and not the fearful path, but the path of growth and being brave. And I stepped out and I tried this new job, and it's been incredible, you know, and I've moved up, and life has gotten better through this whole thing. You know, and I'm not harping on it because Nathan already said it so well. I'm still the same scared little kid that walked in 9.5 years ago. I stunted my emotional growth probably when I was like 10, 11 years old. And, you know, I'm growing up in this adult body. But one foot in front of the other, living these experiences and walking through fears makes me stay hungry to continue growing, if that makes any sense at all. We talk about it on here. Like, I walk through something that's hard, or I walk through something that's scary, or when my parents passed away and I walked through that stuff sober and in recovery and with some sense of grace and dignity, I come out the other side of that. Not only am I stronger and do I learn that I can do that, but I have that experience to carry to somebody else that when they go through that, they're like, oh my God, how could I possibly stay in recovery because this horrible thing happened to me? Well, it's another thing that I can put in my belt to help somebody else. So, where I'm at right now, if somebody's struggling with their job and they say, I absolutely can't leave because there's no other way, I can be like, well, yes, you can, because I did it. I was in a relationship in early recovery where I was working that first job and doing everything and trying to hold this house together. The relationship fell apart right before the job fell apart. So at like 2.5 years sober, I left everything that I just bought with a garbage bag over my shoulders because I'm a dignified, sober man at this point. I'm not going to fight and argue or any of that. Just keep the stuff. I just don't want the chaos. I'm moving on. But I have that experience to share. And I know it sounds like a shit show, but I'm sharing it because I don't want you to think my life was perfect from the time that I got sober to now. Because it hasn't been. It's been scary. It's been tough. It's been beautiful. But the key theme in this whole thing is growth, spiritual growth. And then outside of that, taking that same mindset that we learn in recovery about growing our spiritual life and then growing the rest of our life like that, striving for more, not settling, feeling like we're worthy of more. That was a foreign feeling because I didn't feel like I was worth anything. It's one of those deals that I have to stay grounded in this thing. I have to remember where I came from, and I have to look back at the journey to be able to appreciate the blessings that I have today. If not, I'll feel unworthy of where I'm sitting right now. And I don't want to feel that way. I don't want to feel like I'm living a life that's a sham or a fraud, or I don't deserve these things. My hard work has gotten me where I am as far as monetarily, but God has brought me through the entire thing. There is no house, cars, job. There's none of those things if I don't stay connected to this higher power, if I don't stay connected to this fellowship and have these people to bounce my ideas off. I don't have to worry about growth. There's going to be a rapid decrease in growth, and there's going to be the Hindenburg style crash, because that's what I do. The blimp will blow up and I will crash. So I get to sit here and be on the screen with amazing people and share my crazy ass thoughts with all the people that are watching, because I know I'm not the only one that has these thoughts. Until I walked into the rooms, I thought I was terminally unique. Nobody suffered the way I suffered. No one been incarcerated the way I had. This. Turns out I'm not unique at all. And it's a good thing, because it's no more poor me. If anybody had ever dealt with the crap that I've dealt with, or the trauma or this or that, everybody has. In recovery, everybody has dealt with every single thing. It doesn't matter what you're going through. There's somebody in the recovery circles that has gone through that, and they've done it without picking up. And that is reassuring and calming to me. And that's what keeps me on the course of, no matter what happens, I don't have to pick up. It's not going to make anything better. I don't have to take a drink. That's not going to make anything better. But the only reason I think like that is because I stay in the center of the boat. I don't care if I'm sober or in recovery for 35, 40 years. I still got to stay just as passionate about this thing, because lately I see the 25-year people going out and testing the waters. And guess what? The waters are rough these days. They don't make it back. When you haven't done anything in 25 years and you go out and you go have that blowout, we're probably not going to see you again. So I can never think that I've got this, or that, appreciate the help, God, but I'll take it from here. That's not an option for me. I stay the course. I push myself outside of my comfort zone on a daily basis. I joke around with the people that work for me. I've got a bunch of people in recovery that work for me. And we'll come in my office and we'll laugh. I'll be like, man, can you believe the crap that we have to deal with, that we face on a daily basis? And we do it when we do it with like a smile on our face. And it's amazing. But these skills that we learn because we are from the land of broken toys, we are blessed to have these skills that were taught to us just to be able to get clean or sober or whatever your bag is. We get them and we get to use them in every aspect of our life, where the people who have never suffered the way we've suffered have to go through life with no solution. So I look at it as I'm blessed that my path went the way that it went and took me to where I am. So that's it.
That's it. Yeah, we're the lucky ones, man. We're the lucky ones that get
Crazy,
to
right?
live this life. Yeah,
Look
man.
at that. That's 9 o'clock on the dot.
Try the clock strikes 9. Yeah, Caesar, and you know it's funny, man. It's like there is somebody that goes through something. Like when me and Tiffany went through, when she got diagnosed with cancer, we had friends in the rooms that went through the exact same thing a couple years earlier, and like we leaned on them, and man, they showed up, man, and it was somebody that Tiffany can like conversate with and talk about because there's dark places, man, that like your mind likes to go to when shit hits the fan, and like there's no way out. You're backed into a corner almost, and it's something you cannot control. Yeah, but that's the beauty of these rooms, so yeah, man, that's why, man, I no matter what, no matter fucking what, I think I see Dear Recovery in here saying who's part of the No Matter What Club. Wow.
Yeah.
I renew my membership every week. Every day. I renew my membership.
I was gonna say we renew it every day when we wake up.
Yeah. That's,
The membership lapses as soon as I go to sleep. I have to renew it every morning.
Right. And it all starts with what do I do in the morning to get my mind right? What do I do to get my mind right? What's my daily routine? And
that's another thing. I'll wake up and my first thought is, man, I got to get moving. I don't have time to do that gratitude. And as soon as the thought pops in my head, I go, boy, you better sit down and do that gratitude. You're going to crash if you don't.
It's funny because like sometimes I get complacent. I don't do them right away, and I'm like I force myself, and like some days I miss, and I do better the next day.
Sometimes I'm typing it up when I'm already at work, but
same.
Not usually, but I do. And the other side of that is I got like 4 or 5 people that send it to me in the morning. I'm like, man, I can't be the guy that like, I'm not gonna be that guy. And then you start reading them and you start smiling and you're like, look at this caveman just all full of gratitude today. And it's like, that's the whole point of it, but I can still try to fight it.
Hey, before we exit, I want everybody to do me a favor. You guys, you 4, Melissa, look, before we exit, we got to go like this all together and hold it for a second. Okay.
Like that?
On the exit. Yeah, don't do it yet. Wait, but hold it. Okay. Let me read a couple comments.
Oh, okay. Not yet.
Let's see if we all do it together. Don't do it.
No, that's fine.
Como?
Did you just do Spanish, bro? When can I come on? I'm slowing down with work and would love to connect with y'all on a Sunday night. The Hope Shot.
We love to connect with you.
Oh my God, that would be awesome.
It's been a minute, man. We need a
I love Phil Tyler.
Reunion. That's what I'm looking for. A reunion. Definitely. Let's see. We got Beth says, just coming up on this site. Happy about this. Sober and clean 6 years, but always needing new support. Thank you so much. Thank you, Beth, for tuning in every Sunday live, 8 p.m. right here in Hope Shot. Like and follow, and then you'll see the events pop up in the feed. Let's see. We got Jimmy. I'm feeling like I'm getting better at the faith thing too, learning to forgive myself and can now see his work. Stan, I find if I just keep doing the next right thing, the rewards continue to come physically and mentally. That's right there. Physically and mentally. We need a balance
And
of that.
spiritually.
And spiritually. All of it. Greg said, thank you guys so much. It's going to be a good week, and I'm sorry, but I have to go. But I have work at 3 a.m. Love you guys and happy to meet you, and we'll be here next week.
Awesome.
Dear Recovery, what's up? We got Erica in the house.
Rucka.
Miss you too, Erica. And we got Amber. Same here. Lost my mom a year into my recovery and was in a toxic relationship for the first 15 months of my recovery that ended 8 months ago. I did it all sober, and I got through it by reminding myself that I could do it sober and help someone else down the line. That's what we always say, man. What we're doing now, we're going to be doing it for our future self that's scared as shit coming in the rooms for a first day. You know, that's what I always think about. Let's see. Josie? Okay. To give it away, what was freely given away, charging is not a spiritual, it's an ego. It's ego. Charging. To give away what was freely given away, charging is not spiritual, it's ego. I don't know where that's going, but let's see. We got Megan. These are amazing for us in recovery who got a meeting in this morning, but not tonight. But we did with you. Thanks, all love. Thanks for being here. Good to see you, Megan. All right, that's it, guys. Man, I hope you guys got something out of this. I know I did. I got something out of this big time. I always do.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Melissa.
I'm so grateful. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Be on the lookout, for Spanish edition of the Hope Shot on audio podcast. And if you guys didn't know, we are on audio podcast, so you can take us everywhere. If you guys just need something to listen to while you're going through that challenge that you need to overcome, and you need something to pull you out of there.
Or if you need a book to read, there's this.
That's it.
I was just going to say El Hope Shot in Espanol.
And she's going to have her book in Espanol as well.
I am. Justin designed my Sober Now logo and the Spanish version. We're working on
Es
it.
muy bueno.
She's just loving this one, boy.
Hey, listen, when we listen to that thing, I laugh so hard because it's our voices.
It is.
You
It's
could
crazy.
not tell me, a couple years ago, think about how much technology just from a few years. If I'd have heard my voice talking Spanish at me, I'm like, wait, whoa, what kind of voodoo are you guys doing?
It's good stuff,
Crazy.
man. It's good stuff. Well, that's it for tonight, guys. I love y'all, man. And if you guys are new here, every Sunday we go live right here on the Hope Shot to share experience, strength, and hope. Last Sunday of the month, we do somebody comes on and shares their story. So join us, and we'll see you next Sunday. Until then, we love y'all. See you. Come on, guys. Let's go. Hold it up. Is it just me? Do that.
It's just you.
Just me.
Mm.
Sucks. I'm on myself. All right. Love y'all. See ya.